Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I have not done any videos as of yet. I did one little short, but I felt like coming on here telling you guys about what I do, a little bit about what I do at work. Pretty much a little bit about the industry that I'm in, and just kind of like my day to day. I got some downtime really quick, and I felt the need to share that with anybody that may be interested in possibly going into HR. So I am Amber. I'm an HR generalist. My day to day is generally very busy. Due to it being the holidays, it's kind of a little slower right now. So I'm getting this quick moment to kind of just come back to work. I just got back from taking some days off, and it really isn't crazy coming back in right now, considering if it was a different time of the year. So I'm in the manufacturing industry. So I deal a lot with warehouse employees. I've also been in construction in HR as well as hospitality in the hotel industry and management in HR. So I have tons of customer service experience, tons of background with working directly with people, and I feel like that is my niche. Being able to be that face for the company and get the team excited about starting their first days. So I'm actually the HR generalist here at the company that I'm with. I've been with this company for about 4 years. And like I said, it's the manufacturing industry. So with that, I onboard. I also manage personnel files. Um, I unfortunately do terminations, things that aren't fun as well. I also work on employee engagement, working on business management development, any kind of things to propel the company forward and assist the team with engagement with the team so that we can manage retention, build a better, culture within the company, and just work on improvements so that we can stay competitive in the market. So that is what I do. I enjoy, getting the team members excited every week to onboard, have their first start. And it's really exciting for me. This is my niche in this industry, onboarding people. Unfortunately, like I said, I do have the other parts, things such as human relations, where it could be items anywhere from actual disagreements all the way to altercations, all the way to, violence. Like it could be, you name it. The days are never the same here. But with that, it's our job in HR to mediate and assist, whether it be management, whether it be the actual employee, whether it be the leadership, corporate itself. It's our job to be the liaisons to assist with mediating and cleaning those items up and streamlining them to be uniform across the company. So that is what I do. Each week I onboard new people. I get them started. I meet them with their management, get them met with the safety training. When it comes to being an HR generalist, you literally just manage the personnel files. You make sure you're compliant with all documentation, whether it's I-9s all the way to, just making sure their disciplinary files are up to date. All their files are filed away, making sure they're issued out on time, received back with signatures. Um, any kind of issues that arise, making sure you gather statements, things of that nature, just to have that supporting documentation on file for all employees to have that support. Okay, so that's kind of what I do daily is managing those files and making sure they're up to date and compliant. Outside of that, is this a good industry to make fairly decent money? Yes, it is. Depending on the state you're in, the wages vary because they do generally base it on market analysis reports as well as cost of living where you are. So here I'm in Atlanta. Um, it could be as low as, and I'm using this as an example because there are smaller companies that aren't able to pay their people 80 grand coming in the door. So they may start someone with 45 grand, just because that's their budget for that role. So anything could be as low as 45,000 all the way up until like 80 grand in the generalist level. Then you have seniors, then you have managers, then you have directors, then you have VPs, then you have, so that's how it works. But even at the basic level of the generalist, you can still make really good money. So depending on how many years, your background, your experience, your education, all that good stuff could propel you higher to that 80 before you get to the senior level. So it's definitely room to have a fresh start, have plenty of opportunity, even if you're not at a warehouse. It's plenty of stuff out there. So it's definitely a competitive market. It's refreshing. It has super. Um, it's how can I say it? It's not always that you have to be the generalist. There's departments in HR for everybody. So even if you're not a people person and want to be out in the forefront, you can do payroll behind the scenes, entering data, or you could do analysts where they actually similar enter data, but in a different realm. They actually make sure the personnel information is accurate and up to date, while payroll makes sure everything is accurate to be paid out. So there's plenty of fields management. If you're more of a leader, you love leading people, providing new ways of doing things. Like you have management. You also have above that VP. If you've already done management, you've had 10 people or more below you to report to you, and you're ready to go to the next level. VP, that's always available. Director, all that good stuff. So definitely don't mark this out if it's not something you never thought about doing, because there's always room to learn. And here, everything is constantly changing, anywhere from the day to day all the way to the laws and compliance and things like that. So even if it's up to you to go make sure you're staying up to date, because once you graduate, once you get out of school, once you've done that, that's that. But you may need to also educate yourself and stay up to date on what the laws are coming available that are beneficial to your employees, or what new policies are in place from your company that could benefit the employees, benefits itself, making sure you're up to date on what your plans are, what you know your employees are enrolled in, open enrollment, things like that. So those are very important, because those are the things that a lot of people forget about, and they're not reaching out until they, either hurt, someone's having a baby, someone's having a divorce. So life events happen, and now they're, who do I reach out to? And it's like, oh, HR. What is HR? Who is that? Like, so that's when, outside of orientation, they come and find us. And now it's our job to educate them and let them know, like, hey, yeah, this is what you have, this is what you've chosen, this is what you've enrolled in, here's your coverage, here's what it looks like, here's how long you can be off, things like that. Just because that's our job to make sure it's not your job to be an expert on that. But if you have those questions, it's our job to make sure we have answers for you. So that's really exciting. Making sure that we can, excuse me, guys, be of assistance to leadership as well as the team, and constantly work with helping to grow and engage everyone throughout the process is very important. I think that's or one of the biggest things in HR that we try to work on and partner with the management team on a daily basis, as well as retention. Retention, or when someone leaves the company, or when people decide to transition out, or when terminations happen, that all affects the numbers and percentages of terminations that you have in a company. And that retention is what we generally work on to make sure that we're not having so much. Why was the reasons for these people separating? What happened? You know, was it voluntary? Was it involuntary? How can we improve that? So it's also our part to do exit interviews. Hey, for anyone willing to share how we can improve, the exit interview is there to give those, types of feedback. And that helps us to work on those things to improve as a company. So that's very important. Also, being in this new day and age, companies need to be more open to listening to the newer talent that onboards with the company, even if it's not HR, just something simple as someone working in the warehouse, sanitation, if they have ideas, all of those matter because they could possibly improve an output on what the company provides. So um, I think to be able to propel the companies forward in this day and age, allowing the employees to have a voice is very important. Um, Otherwise, you can get stuck in the dynamic of being traditional and unfortunately less competitive in the market, and people will choose to go with other sources if they find them more versatile and flexible and more adaptable to their needs. So that's very important. Some negatives, of course, we don't like doing terminations, but they happen. It's a part of what we do, and making sure that transition is as smooth as possible for the employee as well as the company is pretty much the best way to put it to have cleaner outcomes on, whatever the incidents are. What else? Some pros is that we're always helping people. And if you're a service person, it's a great industry to be in because you're actually working face to face with people on a daily basis. They're coming to you about the simplest things to the most in depth things you may not even know, and you're working on for days and weeks to get assistance and make sure they're followed through to have, the help they need. So it definitely is a job that makes you see the importance of your role as well as allow you to build trust with your team, management, leadership, higher up, and really build a name for yourself. For me, I love what I do. I actually started in the hotel industry and I was as a general manager. But before that, I just started as a front desk clerk. I worked that for about 4 years. Then I got promoted to be a general manager. I was managing the property for about 4 years. And then I resigned because I relocated to a different city. And it was about an hour away. And I didn't want to make that commute at that time because things were so close by. You didn't even have to drive like that in Atlanta. But now, literally, you need to drive at least 30 minutes to even find a decent income. So an hour is not even against the norm nowadays. So literally, I drive an hour, a little over, to get here every day. But yeah, so it's crazy. But back then, I was like, nah, I can't do that. So that was over 10 years ago. But with that, uh, I made the decision to, step away, raised my younger daughters, worked something part time, and then I started making specialty cakes, which I'll share with you guys on here too, for anyone that wants to see that creative side and have a little fun with decorating and things like that. I do specialty cakes on the side, and I actually took a break because I relocated again, and I had put my stuff in storage, so I was kind of just trying to organize myself, but now I kind of am ready to get back out there and start doing it on the side again. So I'll bring that to the show. Did you not hear I said the show? Like, this is my show. But yeah, I'll bring that to you guys because I actually have a lot of fun with teaching about baking, decorating, um, showing different tips and tricks so that you could get more precise in what you're doing, as well as just for anybody that really want to produce like a mass amount of items at a time, how to be more efficient with speed and things like that. So that was in my past time, but I have plenty of experiences on that I can share with you guys at another time as well. That's fairly interesting. So that anyone out there that may be cake decorators or actually just like to bake and want to know more about that, I'll share that in another video. But yeah, back to HR guys. So I came back to the corporate side and I was working with the construction company. Um, and then I did that for about a couple months because it was in the interim of the company where I am now relocating. So I did that for about 6 months. There, I was their benefits administrator as well as their HRBP. And I was able to travel a lot, do a lot of benefits conventions, meet the actual um, brokers that offer us the actual insurance providers and ask the questions that the employee may really want to know, and get more involved in what they offer to us to share that back with the team. Then I came to this company, which I actually was working for 2 years prior, but we relocated down the street. And originally we were supposed to close, but we reopened and they reached back out like, hey, can you come back? I'm like, yeah, why not? So it was just right on time because the construction was about to end. It was only a 6 month um, contract. And that was fine. I was just doing something in the meantime. And I came back here. So I've been back ever since and I've been doing HRG. And I love it. But I felt like today, since I had a little downtime, that I could share a little background on what I do and how you can be a big impact on your company. You can make some decent money and you have room to grow to make more and more money. You know what I mean? So as you become better, as you learn more, as you're more efficient in what you're doing, you can easily be promoted and move up to the 80, 90. And the next thing you know, you're in management, you're in the 100,000s. And, next thing you're a VP, you're at 200,000. So it's easy. I've seen plenty of people that are millionaires in HR. So it's definitely room for growth, guys. If anyone's interested, hopefully this video helps answer any of your questions. But yeah, I just felt like sharing that with you guys. I'll make another video once again, like I said, about my baking history because that is an interesting side as well, how that came about. And yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to have any feedback or me do any other videos that you may want to know about, I'll be happy to do that. Leave that in the comment section. That way I can check those and work on that as my next, item of choice. Um, it was great meeting with you guys, and I'm looking forward to doing more. Once again, guys, like and subscribe, and hope to speak to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.